This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about Kelee Ringo turning heads in camp. Also, AJ Brown get pissed off with himself during minicamp. And lastly, Nick Muse. A lot of you guys don't know who he is, but he's been turning heads in camp. But let's get straight into it. All right, man. I'm not going to talk about the press conference too much with the players and the coaches, anything like that. We're going to go, as days goes on, we're going to talk about it, but not today. We just going to get into the camp notes. But one of the things I want to talk about before practice started, Nick Sirianni spoke about how everybody was in attendance and how this is a good thing. And you got to credit Howie Roseman paying guys early, people satisfied with their contracts, and having a strong team culture. Whereas though you see the Cowboys, Michael Parsons there, but he's not practicing. Whereas though our stars were practicing. Terry McLaurin just didn't show up. Hell, one voluntary OTAs, he just left the middle of it because the contracts wasn't right with him. So, and we in a very fortunate position as Eagles fans, well-run organization. So credit to Howard Roseman and the upper management, man, keeping the players happy. But let's get into the camp notes. So let's talk about the starting offensive line. So Cam Jurgens did not practice. He sat on the sideline. So they had Brett Toff out there who actually struggled. So we're going to watch Drew Kendall, the rookie we drafted, possibly take Brett Toff's spot when regular training camp start because he was bad, man. It was a lot of bad snaps. Right, so the snap count is everything, and Brett Toff really struggled. I seen at times we even had Trevor Keegan, snapping the ball as well. So that's a position to watch. We know Cam Jurgens is the number one guy, but who's going to back him up? That's the big question. And Drew Kendall got an opportunity to take that spot. But Jordan Mailata was out there. Lane Johnson was out there. Landon was out there. And Tyler Steen, so far, his spot to lose. He was in the same position last year. He got hurt. Mekhi Becton did not let that spot go. So we're going to see if Tyler Steen can hold on to that right guard spot. So far, it's Tyler Steen's spot to lose. Miles Hinton, the rookie we drafted, he got hurt during training camp, so that's something to watch. He could have one of those phantom injuries, whereas though we'll put him on IR to open up another roster spot for somebody. So that's one of those injuries we're gonna watch for sure. So let's get into the defensive side of the ball. Reed Blankenship, Sidney Brown starting, Kelee Ringo another day starting, and we're gonna talk about Kelee Ringo and the great performance he had. You had Quinyon Mitchell out there, of course. So Zach Bond, he did not practice, but it's nothing serious. Or Jalen Carter, I'm hearing it's like some general soreness, nothing major. Where's the like, oh snap, we gotta watch this. But it was good to see Jahad Campbell out there. While he didn't do like the team drills, the 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, but he did have on a helmet. He participated a bit, so we know he's going to be a full participant in August, based on what Vic Fangio let the public know, but it was just good to see him out there. So we know it's no Jahad Campbell or Nakobe Dean or even Zach Bond wasn't out there. So we had Smile Mundun out there and Trotter Jr. starting. So like I stated, Jalen Carter wasn't out there. So we had Aziz Ojolari, Mauro Jomo, Jordan Davis, and Jalyx Hunt. So let's talk about it, man. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had one of the better plays of the day. It wasn't the best play because I'm talking about Nick Muse and Kyle McCord, but he hit a 30-yard bomb to Devontae Smith, and Devontae Smith was covered by Smile Mundon Jr., which is weird. He was covered by a linebacker, so obviously there was probably some play breakdown, but it was good that Jalen Hurts sniffed that out. And Jalen Hurts continues to have a great camp. Great camp. He's on fire right now. He's tearing up with Fangio defense for sure. So Jalen Hurts, you know, even according to his press conference, he was saying like he's back in the lab, or he got back in the lab soon as the Super Bowl was basically over. Again, I told y'all I'm gonna go over the press conference more later in the week, but it's starting to show results. And I honestly think the hate is getting to him. My personal opinion, that's what I think. I think the hate is getting to him. But he did have one incompletion. That one incompletion was to AJ Brown. So AJ Brown was pissed about it because the ball placement wasn't right. I think Jalen Hurts just slightly overthrew him to the point where AJ Brown went off. He was cursing. He went in the bleachers. Like, man, like just pissed. Like, just imagine AJ Brown animated. Like, yo, what the that type of animated. And my personal opinion, I like to see it. But at the end of the day, AJ Brown is June 10th. It's not September. It's not October. It's not November. It's June 10th. We get it. You've been putting in the work, been grinding. And when you get your opportunity like that on a catchable ball, whereas though you probably could have caught up to it, no, it pisses you off, especially with a quarterback you've been with 3 years and you basically knew for a very long time. The timing just got to be right. But those two, they gonna get it right. They'll be fine. The timing will be right during the season. So that was one of the things I wanted to bring up because people might see that and a couple other people notes and when people report on it, but I look at it more as a positive thing. He's showing his attitude in that way, showing that he really cares. Because again, a lot of these guys can be fat catting right now. Like, you know what? I'm good. I got my ring. I'm fine. But you would think we lost the Super Bowl the way the attitude has been on this team. Let's go back to the defensive side of the ball. As I stated, it was Sidney Brown and Reed Blankenship starting at safety. Andrew Mukuba was rotating in, but where you see a lot of Andrew Mukuba was in the dime packages as a defensive back. We know Andrew Mukuba, he can cover for sure. So say if Sidney Brown beat him out, this will be a way whereas though Andrew Mukuba can see the field being that extra defensive back because we know Andrew Mukuba is physical. He's not afraid to hit, but he also can cover. So let's watch out for Andrew Mukuba. If he don't get the starting spot, we'll still see him on the field somehow, some way. And it's just gonna be interesting how we use him. Like, will he switch to like playing backup slot if he don't get the spot? I think we just gonna see Andrew Mukuba everywhere, in my personal opinion. But that was interesting. They had him as defensive back for the most part. And mainly who was rotating with Sidney Brown was Andre Sam again, Andrew Mukuba, and Tristan McCullum. So those the guys that's in the rotation. Sorry for my Lewis Scene guys. I'm not sure what's going on with him, to be honest. But the names I've been hearing, Andre Sam, Andrew Mukuba, and Tristan McCullum, and of course Sidney Brown. And Reed Blankenship is Reed Blankenship. So like I said, we're gonna go back to Kelee Ringo. Kelee Ringo has been having a good camp. He covered Terrence Marshall Jr. He was on Danny Gray, who's been having a strong camp. Watch out for Danny Gray. And I'm going to derail a little bit and I'm going to get back to Kelee Ringo. Watch out for Danny Gray to be one of those guys that can possibly make the team. If not, I think he's definitely going to be on the practice squad. He's been turning heads in camp. He's been open. Let me just say that. He's definitely been open. While Jalen Hurts have a couple deep balls here and there, his safety blanket really been Danny Gray in the slot. Jahad Dotson is having a great camp. Don't worry about that. But the guy I'm focused on is Danny Gray, that wide receiver 4 spot, because now you talking about Nia Smith and Johnny Wilson could be in trouble if Danny Gray is having that type of camp. I like Johnny Wilson because he's a blocker. Nia Smith, we just got to see more. Y'all got to beat out Danny Gray, man. He's hungry. He's hungry for sure. But back to Kelee Ringo, Jalen Hurts tried to hit Terrence Marshall Jr. on Kelee Ringo. Kelee Ringo broke it up. He also broke up passes to Danny Gray as well. I believe Tanner McKee was the quarterback at the time, and Kelee Ringo was doing his little dance. Like he was confident. He was excited. I think even Elliot Shore-Part spoke about how great Jalen Hurts and Kelee Ringo has been, or those was the main guys during camp. And let me just play this clip for you guys.
There was a lot. They did a ton of team drills today. Jalen and the first team offense were probably out on the field for 26, 27 plays. Jalen had another really outstanding day. He was 20 of 21. I think he's 50 of 55 now in the 3 practices I've seen him. His best throw of the day was a deep touchdown to Devontae Smith. It was 7-on-7. It was probably about 30 yards out. Devontae was open, but he hit him, and it was a touchdown. Outside of that, Jalen kind of looked how he has for the past 3 practices in control, good decisions. The only incompletion he had today was a pass over the middle to AJ, which was broken up by a defender. So really good practice from him. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I thought Kelee Ringo had an outstanding day today. He had a touchdown break up in the corner of the end zone. I think it was McKee to Terrace Marshall in the back corner of the end zone. But the throw was good. Terrace Marshall got up for it, and Kelee met him at the high point and knocked the ball away. And then his best play of the day might have been a play where he didn't even get targeted. It was 7-on-7. He was matched up 1-on-1 with AJ. When the ball came to Jalen, you could see he was looking at AJ. He wanted to go that way. But Kelee was stride for stride with AJ down the sideline and was right with them, and the ball wasn't thrown that way. So on the final day where he gets to impress coaches, I thought Kelee had a really strong practice.
I'm telling you, man, Kelee Ringo, man, let's watch and see. And I know a lot of people want to bring in like Jair Alexander, even trade for a Ramsey, which I've been a part of that train as well. But I'm at the point where I just trust Vic Fangio. You have to trust Vic Fangio. If Vic Fangio is saying like, yo, Kelee Ringo is ready now and he's going to win that starting spot, I got to roll with Vic Fangio. He gave us the number 1, number 2 defense. We seen the Super Bowl. We seen what Zach Bond turned out to be. We see what Jalyx Hunt turned out to be. So we just got to watch. We got to watch and see what Kelee Ringo do. And speaking of Jalyx Hunt, he got a sack. Jordan Davis got a sack. I heard that Jordan Mailata was pissed. Like Jalyx Hunt was getting the best of Mailata, and even like Jordan Davis was getting the best of the O-line and Jordan Mailata. Jordan Davis is a guy to watch for sure. Jordan Davis, we know he's talented. He is talented. Our question is, can it last a full season? And Jalyx Hunt, I want to see it for a full season. No, he's been great every time he rotated in and beating Jordan Mailata, who on the PFF list is considered the best tackle in the league. I mean, imagine him against like the Giants or something like that, or even the Cowboys and some of these teams that don't really got good old lines. Jalyx Hunt can really eat. Jordan Davis can really eat. But them boys was eating, man. They was getting to Jalen Hurts for sure. So the D line, I know a lot of us want to run out and get Trey Henderson or get Trayvon Walker, which I won't be mad at. But at the end of the day, we talking about Aziz and these guys. They are good players. They are really good players, great players. So I won't be mad if we just stick with the young guys on the defensive line. My personal opinion. But they ate. They definitely ate. So let's talk about Nick Muse, man. Tight end, 7th round pick. Spent the last 3 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings. And he looked good. Looked like Kyle McCord is becoming his best friend. You know, he had beat Andre Sam on the end zone or red zone drills, I should say. He beat Andre Sam with a nice route. And then he had a 25, 30-yard bomb to him. Just got open. Beautiful catch. Like, he was going off. Him and Kyle McCord got that chemistry, which is really good. That he got the chemistry with the 3rd, 4th string quarterback, because that can be a way for him to make the team. And we start seeing him get some 2nd string, maybe even some 1st string reps. Because playing beside Dallas Goedert, that spot to me is always wide open. I like Grant Calcaterra, but to say Grant Calcaterra got it completely locked up, I'm not sure about that. We usually keep 3 tight ends, so Nick Muse is a name to watch because he's been turning heads as well. So the Danny Grays, Nick Muse, defensive side, Andre Sam, Tristan McCullum. So some of these backup guys, look like they looking to take some spots, man, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. But that's all the camp notes I have for you guys. No, actually, no, I'm lying to you guys. That's not all the camp notes I have. Ty Robinson, been looking good. He been getting to the quarterback, but his main thing has been actually tipping the ball, like at the line. He got DTR a couple times, so it looked like one of his strengths in college was tipping the ball if he couldn't get to the quarterback, and it looked like it's transitioning to the NFL level. Ty Robinson is a big dude that can jump, so we should see a couple of those. Ty Robinson, of course, it will be a guy to watch during the season. But for real, that's the last camp note I have for you guys. No, my usual camp note guy didn't have the notes ready yet, but I had to get this video out. And I got as much notes as I can. Read a lot of articles, read a lot of notes. And I think I got everything. And if I didn't, I'll probably include it in another video. Well, again, that's all I got for you guys. And what do you think of how do you feel, man? AJ Brown being pissed at OTAs, which is fine by me. Which is fine by me. Kelee Ringo continue to turn heads, and Nick Muse, Danny Grays, names to watch. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.